Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Grady Tech, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the best features of the Samsung Galaxy M02s. By the way, I'll also be posting a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I'll be talking about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video as well. Link will be in the description. Now with that said, the first best thing about this phone is its performance. This phone sports a Snapdragon 450 processor with Adreno 506 GPU with up to 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. These are the benchmark scores. Purely in terms of performance, it's not the best when you compare the price, but for a normal user who wants to get a Samsung phone, it's pretty good enough. Next, this phone also packs in a pretty decent display. It sports a 6.5-inch Infinity V display with HD Plus resolution and 20:9 aspect ratio. Here's a quick look at the display. Next, this phone also packs in a bigger battery. This phone sports a massive 5000 mAh battery. For a normal user, it can easily last you for 2 days. Next, this phone also packs in some decent cameras. On the rear, it has a triple camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f2.2 aperture, and for selfies, it has a 5 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture. These are some sample shots. Next, this phone also supports the Face Unlock feature. It works pretty well in good lighting conditions, but it is slightly slower. It takes about a second or two to unlock the phone. In low lighting conditions, it still works, but once again it takes about a second or two to unlock the phone. In complete darkness, it's more of a hit or a miss, and even if it works, it takes a pretty long time. So in complete darkness, I would rather use the password itself. Next we have Macro Shot. This is a new feature that's being added on the recent Samsung phones, and obviously with this mode we can take some pretty great looking macro shots. These are some sample shots. Next we have Assistant menu. Once you enable this feature, we get to see a floating bubble that you can move around anywhere on the screen. Once you click it, we get various buttons for navigation controls, screen off, volume controls, screenshot shortcuts, and lot more options. It's just like a floating button from iOS. Next we have Focus Mode. Focus Mode helps you to avoid distractions from your phone and keeps your life in focus. By default, all the applications are blocked from disturbing you once you turn on Focus Mode. But from settings, you can also create some exceptions. Next we have Nearby Share. This is a brand new feature that you can find on all the latest Android phones. This feature allows you to share data between one Android phone and another, just like Share It, but this feature comes built in for most of the phones these days. You should definitely give it a try. It works just like AirDrop on iOS. Next we have a new swipe gesture for the shutter button. This feature is enabled by default. You just need to do a swipe gesture on the shutter button and it will take a burst shot. By default it is set to burst shot. We can also change it to record a GIF. Next we have DecoPic. This is just another new name for stickers, where you can add stickers to all your photos, whether it's the pictures from the front camera or the rear camera. And these are all the stickers that we have right now.
Next we have Live Focus Mode. This is another fancy name for rear camera portrait mode on Samsung phones. Unlike on other phones, on this phone, you can actually change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a picture. These are some sample shots. Next we have Live Focus for selfie. Now this is another fancy name by Samsung for portrait selfie. Using this feature you can take portrait selfies, and on this phone you can also change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a picture. These are some sample shots. Next we have wide angle selfie. Now the front camera on this phone has a wide angle lens, but by default it crops it to give you a regular size selfie. If you want a much wider selfie, you can get it with just a click of a button. These are the sample shots.
Next we have some new navigation gestures, and once you enable them, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps, and you can swipe from the left side or right side to go back a step. You can swipe diagonally from the bottom left corner or bottom right corner to trigger Google Assistant. Finally, you can also swipe left and right on the bottom bar to quickly switch between applications. And that's pretty handy.
Next we have split screen mode. To open any application in split screen mode, you need to first open that application, go to the recent apps page, click on the app icon and select open in split screen. Then that application will open in a split screen and you can select the secondary application from your recent apps, or you can go to the home screen and select the secondary application from there. You can find this feature on all Android phones, and this is how you can use it on this phone. Next we have pop-up view, which opens an application in a floating window. Opening an app in pop-up view is similar to split screen mode. Once you open an application in a pop-up view, you can change its transparency, make it a bit transparent. You can minimize it to a floating bubble, just like Facebook chat heads, maximize it, or even close it. I would recommend you not to use this feature as it is resource intensive. Next we have smart pop-up view. This feature allows you to open applications in a pop-up view every time you get a notification from that application. First, you need to enable this feature for the desired application. Once again, it's better not to use this feature. Next we have night mode. This is one of my favorite features on this phone. Once you enable it, most of the UI elements change color from light to dark or black. You can just turn it on from the notification toggles or schedule it to turn on and turn off automatically at a specific time. Using this mode strains your eyes less at night, saves battery. Now going on next, we can even hide that notch. Now once you enable this feature, area beside the notch is completely blacked out. Status bar is moved below. Next we have easy mute. Once you enable this feature, you can easily mute incoming calls or alarms by placing your hand on your phone or by turning your phone face down. Next we have one-handed mode. Now once you enable this feature and swipe from the bottom left or right corner of the screen size will shrink, your phone will become much more usable with a single hand. Once you're in this mode, you can click the arrow button to switch the screen left side or right side and click in an empty area to go full screen. If you don't like the gesture, you can select the second option.
You just need to double tap the home button to trigger one-handed mode.
Next we have accidental touch prevention, which is just a fancy name from Samsung for pocket mode. Once you enable this feature, it will prevent accidental touches in closed spaces like pockets and bags. Next we have double tap to wake. Once again, even this feature is self-explanatory. You can double tap the screen to wake it up. So once you enable this feature, just lock your phone and double tap the screen. It wakes up the screen, and if you're using face unlock, once again it sees your face and unlocks the phone immediately. Next we have smart capture. Now this is a very common feature found on many other phones, but this feature is only available on the high-end phones on Samsung. Now once you enable this feature, every time you take a screenshot, you get additional options to take a longer screenshot or edit a screenshot before saving it. Just in case if you can't find this feature on your phone, make sure you have smart capture option in additional settings. Next we have digital well-being. Now this is actually a feature from Google, so it should be on all the Android phones. Now this feature will record all your activity on your phone, like how long you're using your phone, which apps you're using a lot, and how many times you have opened a particular application. So this feature gives you all that information, and you can see which apps you open frequently and which apps you're addicted to. You can also restrict app usage by using this feature. Next we have wind down. Now this feature is built into the digital well-being application, but it has its own unique features. Now this feature wind down will help you sleep quickly at night. You can turn it on manually or schedule it to automatically turn on at a specific time. Once you set it up and it's turned on, it changes the screen to grayscale, that's black and white, and blocks notification. It can also turn on do not disturb mode, so you won't be disturbed with annoying notifications. Next we have flash notifications. Once you enable this feature, every time you get a notification or a call, flashlight blinks to give you a visual indication. It's good when you need it, but it can be quite annoying. Next we have auto call recording. Now this feature allows you to record calls automatically on your phone, whether you get a call or make a call. You can enable this feature from the phone dialer settings. Next we have blue light filter. Now just like the name suggests, once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light, which is supposed to help you sleep better at night. We can also change the intensity of the filter using the slider. Now going on next, we have the option to change the font on this phone. Usually most Android phones don't give you this option, but on this phone, you can change the font. By default, you get 3 different fonts, and if you're not happy with them, you can download more from the Samsung store. Next we have easy mode. Now if this phone is going to be used by some elderly people, then you can enable easy mode for them. Now once you enable this feature, everything on your phone will be enlarged. All the app icons on the home screen and app drawer increase in size. Even the text size gets scaled up to make it more visible for elderly people. Now going on next, we have swipe to call or send message. Once you enable this feature, in the default phone dialer application, you can simply swipe left or right on a contact or a call log to make a call or send a message. It's not a great feature, but a very nice shortcut that's available only on the Samsung phones. Next we have Dual Messenger, which is like dual apps for Samsung. Using this feature, you can have 2 Snapchat accounts, 2 Facebook accounts, or even 2 WhatsApp accounts on the same phone. Now this features might seem awesome, but it only works with few applications. Like if you want to use 2 Paytm accounts on the same phone, you can't do it using this feature. With that said, if you really want to do it, like if you want 2 Paytm accounts on the same Samsung phone, you can try using Secure Folder feature. In your default phone dialer, we have a feature called Caller ID and Spam Protection, and it just does what it says. Every time you get a call from any unknown number, it tries to trace it, give you a name, and will try to intimate you if it is a spam call. I'll definitely recommend you to use this feature. Now going on next, this phone also has Dolby Atmos sound enhancement. You can enable it by using the toggles or by going to the sound settings. Once you enable it, you have different sound profiles like auto, movies, music and voice, and depending upon the sound profile, you will get different audio experience. Right now this feature is only available if you're using a headset. Now going on next, this phone even comes with Samsung themes, or just the themes. You literally have hundreds of themes to choose from, both free and paid, and you can completely change the look and feel of your phone. Starting from wallpapers to UI elements to app icons, it literally changes everything. Now going on next, we have maximum power saving mode. On previous Samsung phones, it was called as ultra power saving mode, and once you enable this feature, it will decrease the screen brightness, set speed limiter, restrict background network usage, limit the number of apps that you can use, and apply a dark theme. On the whole, it does all these things to improve the standby time of your phone. Now even in this mode, you can still use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and mobile data, and use some regular applications like YouTube, Facebook, and even use the camera application. If you're on a very long journey, just enable this mode and you can have great battery life. Now going on next, we can also increase the touch sensitivity of the display. Now most of the time, if you add a screen guard or a tempered glass to your display, touch sensitivity might go down. In that case, you can use this feature. Now going on next, we have lock screen stories. If you want to see something interesting and useful information every time you see the lock screen, just enable this feature. Once done, every time you try to unlock the phone by going to the lock screen, you will see a different story. Now going on next, we can also reduce animations on this phone. Now for some reason, if you want to reduce animations and thereby reducing the CPU load, then you can do it on this phone by just disabling this toggle. Even if you reduce animations, there are still some animations going on, and for some reason if you want to completely remove animations, you can do it from the accessibility settings. Personally, I'll stick with animations even at a cost of performance and battery life. Now going on next, we can also disable fast charging. Now this phone, as you might have already known, comes with fast charging, supports fast charging, and comes with a fast charger inside the box. But for some reason, maybe for a prank or something else, if you want to disable fast charging, you can do it from the battery settings. Now going on next, this phone also has Widevine L1 support. That means you can stream high definition videos from Netflix and Amazon Prime on this phone. This is kind of a big deal if you watch a lot of video content on your phone. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and definitely check out my video on the tips and tricks section where I'll be talking about many things which I didn't cover in this video. By the way guys, if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. And if you want us to make any specific video or if you have any questions, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.